buy that for $1.
Oh, yeah. See, we plan ahead. That way we don't do anything right now. Earl, explain it to me.
Now, say my name.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Deadwire Live with Jeff and Kevin. We got our buddy Skeeter coming back around again. Long time no see, buddy. What you been up to?
Just living the dream, watching canceled TV shows, anime shows are getting caught up on, playing a little bit of video games, and just DJing. It's a great life.
Cool. Now, what's on the door behind you? It looks like you got like a little light or a portal to another universe back there.
That's my SG1 sign.
Oh, that's the SG1 sign. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's hard to see from way back there, but...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You showed us that the last time.
I sent a picture
just
to
like,
you.
what the hell is that back there? That's cool. Now, Kevin, what you been up to lately, buddy? Other than what we usually do on our shows.
Oh, well, watching TV for the shows. We watched Aeon Flux this week, which was great and debilitating all at the same time. We had one day out of the week this week where our mind was just mush from so much spy stuff. Weird spy stuff. And then I got to hang out with our good buddy Justin and sit in on one of his panels for the Star Wars and Marvel Purist.
Cool.
And then hung out playing big shots the rest of the week. Like, did not do a whole lot.
Yep. And Solomon, yep, that is the correct one. The MTV Aeon Flux, not the movie with Charlize Theron. We talk about that for a brief moment.
Yes, and how like bad, truly bad it was.
And I like Charlize, and I have the movie in my collection, but I haven't watched it since I bought the damn thing.
Yeah, twice. And the same thing with my wife. I even asked her after we recorded, because like I said, she owned it too before we got married. And she's like, I only bought it and watched it that one time.
Like, that's more than enough.
Very true. It's basically Aeon Flux in like name only.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we got some headlines this week. Kevin, you want to fire us up and set us off on our path?
Oh, all right. Well, let's spin the wheel here. What are you guys in the mood for first? Good news, bad news, in between?
Bad news. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So the truly bad news of the week is we lost a legend this week. Like, truly, Donald Sutherland passed away at the age of 88.
Yeah.
And there are not many actors in our lifetime that are as truly iconic as he truly is. Like, so much so that like you see Donald or Kiefer in a movie and you're kind of like, God, I love him even because of his dad. It's like, genes passed down truly, and class passed down. So it's like, so Kiefer's not a Nepo baby. He's just another amazing person, an actor like his dad was.
He's earned his way through Hollywood. Yeah. He wasn't handed much of anything, just a foot in the door. He had to do the real work himself.
Yeah, truly. And God, that whole family is just fucking amazing. So to hear that sudden news this week was just absolutely heartbreaking for someone that loves movies and loved him like my entire life.
Yeah, it sounded like he was dealing with a bit of an illness that just wasn't quite going away, and unfortunately his body gave out on him.
Yeah, and it really is too bad. But it's like his kid said, he was surrounded by family, and he's remembered. He's one of the few people on earth that's always remembered with a smile. Like anyone that know of him, knew his reputation as an actor, like. Yeah. Whether you loved him as a hero or a villain, like you smile when you think about him, and everyone always will. He wasn't one of those people that you heard about on the news as like being part of that Me Too movement at any given point in time and just being a total douche. He was a class act.
Never heard a bad word about him my entire life. There's only like a handful of actors, literally on one hand, I can count how many actors I've never heard one bad word about them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Donald is absolutely
Mhm.
one of them. Such an iconic actor. I've been a fan for like years. I remember him all the way back to like the original Dirty Dozen. He played a very young, I think his name was Vernon. I'm a bad memory guy right now. Like, I think of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers is like the first thing I
Yeah.
think of when I think of Donald Sutherland. And when I'm talking like the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was such a good goddamn movie with Leonard Nimoy in it, being somebody not Spock for once was tremendous as well. And it's just such a good goddamn sci-fi invasion movie that it'll keep you on your toes. Actually, things just keep happening, and it's just a fun play. And just he's had so much in his life. I feel so horrible that he never won a goddamn award for his performance and all of his work. Such a class act, like Kevin was talking about, and he's always put in like above and beyond the Call of Duty for every single role, whether it was a TV show or a movie or anything. Just an amazing actor, and he will be very missed, but he's not going to be in pain anymore. And hopefully he's in a much better place, and we will remember him forever, especially me. Skeeter, you got any favorite roles of his? What you got any thoughts about Donald?
You got Body of Snatchers. That was amazing. But Animal House.
Oh, yep.
I mean, God, he was so funny in that.
He was perfect in that. Comedic chops, yo.
Yeah. And then he kind of blew me away when he did 1992 Buffy the Vampire Slayer with
oh, that's right. He was
he
in
played
that one.
Maverick or Merrick.
Yeah.
And I thought, he was kind of serious, but it was still a funny role. But then my favorite was Beer Fest. I could not believe he just made a short cameo in that movie.
Oh, that's right.
Johann.
Yeah. Johann von Wolfhaus. Yeah.
Love that goddamn movie.
So good.
Broken
and he's
Lizard
just in it
people,
for a
like,
short bit.
Yep.
You know, along with like Willie Nelson and a bunch of others. You're like, what the hell are they doing in this? You know?
Was he even credited for that
No,
movie?
he was
I don't
not
think he
credited
was
for that movie at all. No.
Yeah, but he's a. You clearly recognize the guy. He's only in it. Literally, you blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Because he was the grandpa on the videotape, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep.
Johann
man, no, I want to watch that movie.
Oh God, you mentioned Merrick, and similarly, I'm always reminded of him from Salem's Lot, the TNT version.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he was very scary in that. Like, he was charming. He plays the human that brings the vampire to Salem's Lot.
Yep.
Who knows all the old ladies in town because he's been writing them letters for God knows how long, and then he starts like picking on these women and their emotions and feeding upon them, like, and it's very perverted and terrifying at the same time because he gets this animalistic joy in his eyes, and you're terrified of him.
Yeah.
Or you see him being a cold-hearted villain in movies like Outbreak, where he's more of a sociopath because
he's nuts in that one.
Yeah.
Like
his eyes get you too, you know, it's like fuck.
and he's so nice in that movie.
Yeah.
But he's a total cunt at the same time. So you're like, oh.
He's got the range that people love to work with.
And I'm probably the only person I know that'll say this, but my favorite movie of his and my preferred version of this story is the movie to MASH. I loved him as Hawkeye Pierce.
Hawkeye,
yes.
I far prefer him to Alan Alda.
I think most did. I know I did. My grandfather did.
People think that Alda got preachy towards the end, and I suppose he did, but the show and the movie are two very different things.
Yes, they are.
The show is funny. The movie was funnier, I think. Like
I would agree.
It was a lot raunchier. It was a lot racier.
Yes, it was.
But that Hawkeye character kind of stays the same. Like, he is the nice, innocent doctor. He's a pig. He's a total pig, but he's a good guy in the movie. And I love where they ask, how did he get to be an officer? And the fucking the priest looks up and goes, he was drafted. Like, totally outs him that he was drafted.
Damn it.
But no, I absolutely loved him as Hawkeye Pierce. The total lounging, a professional but lazy as hell. Get to it when he wants to. I loved that character growing up.
Yeah,
it was the precursor to the Dude.
Yeah, that's a good point, dude.
That dude. Yeah, it's a sad news, but you start thinking about all the movies he's done. Most people are going to remember him from more like the Hunger Games.
Yep.
But they have no concept that he actually was an actor for like 30 years before that. So it's like, well, whatever. The rest of us will keep on the memory with that. And in lieu of that, we might be including Invasion of the Body Snatchers in our docket for at some point during the later part of this year.
Nice.
So stay tuned for that on our movie reviews.
Yes, we have a few small openings towards our end of year.
Yes, we do. Can't go wrong with a nice alien invasion story. That'll really bring in the holiday cheer, everybody.
Okay, what else we got? So, in some good Marvel news, the Spider-Man freshman year, which is going to be an animated in-canon version, year one for Spider-Man.
Oh God!
So it is not going to have. God, I want to say Tobey Maguire, and that's certainly not his fucking name. Tom Holland. It's not going to have Tom Holland in it at all.
No.
Thank God.
But it is going to have the guy who voiced Spider-Man from
The animated series?
Not the animated, brain fart.
Spectacular?
No, they got him on Disney Plus. That's where the alternate storylines could happen.
What If?
Yeah, What If?
Yes.
The guy who voiced Spider-Man on that is going to be in on this. I just was reading about it yesterday.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It sounds like it's not going to be canon with the MCU.
No.
Big shock.
Maybe I read it wrong, but at the same time, it's like, here we are, Spider-Man beginning story, part 13, 14. We've done it a lot. It's the only thing I got about it.
Yes.
All I got going on in my head is Spider Pig.
I'd rather see that.
Dude, my kids have been singing that nonstop throughout the house for like the last 2 weeks since they've been out of school. And I'm just like, So, but that's scheduled to come out later this year, November 2nd on Disney
Fall is
Plus.
shaping up pretty good then.
Yeah,
I think so. And this is part of the MCU scale back. So this made the list. And when I say this made the list, I mean it was already done and ready to go. So,
that doesn't always mean anything. Agatha's been done and ready to go for a long time, and so is the
Captain
Ironheart
America.
show.
Oh, and Ironheart, and Thunderbolts, Remember, we did confirm that Thunderbolts is done filming.
Yes. Solomon Thornton is correct. I agree with you 100%, man.
Nothing will beat the 90s animated. Oh,
MTV
gosh.
Spider-Man? I don't think I remember that one, though.
It was good. Neil Patrick Harris was the voice.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was on MTV. Okay. That explains that.
The 90s is fantastic. I have my issues with that because of how they handled Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have had Mark Hamill cast as the Green Goblin instead of the Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
but the producer really liked, and Justin will probably correct me because I'm getting the story probably wrong. The producer liked Hobgoblin better, so they cast Mark Hamill as Hobgoblin and put him in the story prior to Green Goblin coming about the story.
Okay.
So that always kind of got me.
Flip-flopped it. Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually my favorite Spider-Man became like the first season of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good series too.
Yeah, that was all right.
I made sure to wear my Spider-Man hat for tonight. So
there you go.
Because that was before we had Tom Holland in the MCU, and it was what could have been just after Avengers, because it was very much modeled after the Avengers movie. And it was good. It was funny. It wasn't as dramatic as the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. And that's okay. Like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon is epic. Like you need to binge watch it because it's all it's all continuation.
It just keeps going. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but like the 90s version, this will have another superhero special guest. Daredevil is scheduled to appear. Oh, there's two?
Yep, two. Supposedly Doctor Strange, I've been hearing, is also supposed to pop in.
That's what I thought I had heard as well.
That will be cool. That will be cool.
Because Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil on Netflix series, is going to be voicing this Daredevil.
Yes.
And he's getting his own Disney Plus TV series as well, which
I
just start over again.
Yep.
And I've also heard it rumored, although and that's all it is that Vincent D'Onofrio will also have a voice appearance in the show.
Whatever.
It might be too early for that.
Dude, they've totally taken the bite out of his fucking character.
Did they? I liked him in Daredevil.
No, I'm talking about him being in like the fucking Hawkeye TV show.
Hawkeye and Echo. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they totally fucking wasted his character on those two shit ass shows.
You know what? Let me just say this. Let's get past Deadpool and Wolverine this summer and see how Disney does with our rating, and then we'll see what they do from there. We'll see how gritty they can get Daredevil, and maybe that's what they're dragging their knuckles on Daredevil for.
Well, they've had to rewrite scripts and bring in the Netflix cast. So what does that tell you? Hey, let's try and do something different. Nope, we don't want to do that anymore. Let's actually try and restore faith with fans of the Netflix show. But the problem with that is you need to bring back the original writers of the Daredevil TV show, and they want nothing to do with fucking Disney. So you're still gonna get fucking Disney writers writing Daredevil. And after She-Hulk and after the last few Marvel shows, I don't trust them as far as I could throw any of them at all.
They're probably like, oh, let's see what they're doing over on Star Wars. We should do what they're doing over there.
Oh, and can we make Daredevil, Matt Murdock, bisexual and gay too while we're at it?
And a frying pan. Yeah.
And lesbian space witches. Ooh, yes. Lesbian space witches, yo.
I'll come down and help them out. Help them out.
I won't start cackling randomly tonight, I promise.
They'll just call in Wanda back from the dead and just go from there. You look like you want to say something, Kevin.
I'd be okay if Wanda came back from the dead. They need to fix that ship. That's a whole other thing.
And blow another Mr. Fantastic's head off like a melon at a Gallagher concert.
It's Sledge-O-Matic.
So, another cartoon series coming. Another cartoon series coming out later this year. That's not it. Kite Man. Hell yeah. Did also escape the cutting block of Mr. Zaslav.
The axe of Zaslav.
Yep. So this was already done before he came in and started making all the cuts to DC animation. So we will get to see this. Fortunately, I'm super excited about it. This will come out July 18th of this year on Max.
Whoa.
Whoa. I liked Chuck. Shut up.
I'm sorry, I could not get into the Harley Quinn show. I've tried like multiple times. It just doesn't work for me for some reason. And I like that kind of sense of humor. I don't think I was really clicking with like the relationships and the kind of storylines they were going with. So just not my speed. Nothing I can't handle. It's just it didn't click with me, so I couldn't like stay with it.
I haven't watched it, so I have no opinion on that one. But Kite Man sounds,
We'll leave that one for Kevin.
yeah.
I'm such a mark for that show. It's so.
Hey, then you can do videos on it. Right on. More content on the way.
It's so naughty, and I love it.
Oh my god, I can't. But hey, for anybody out there who's into that and into the show and into that character, kudos, enjoy it. As long as it doesn't turn out like Velma, I think everybody will get a kick out of it. So
Velma was trash, just like altogether trash. Like,
yep, just keep it away from that kind of level of stupidity, and people will be happy anyway. At least fans of the
Harley wasn't that stupid necessarily. They took characters that were not that important and made them stupid.
Yeah.
And that was kind of an improvement. Like Kite Man being a complete fucking broham was an improvement from the characters in the comics. Like, what? Where else did you have to go?
Gotcha.
But anyway,
well, we're not done with comic book news, guys. We still got one more item on the Blade front. Yep. There's a new update on the Blade movie. Thank you, Kevin. We are actually going to clip this little section and throw it up separately tomorrow morning for everybody to check out, because this is fresh news right off the press. Guess who's leaving the show, everybody? Or, I'm sorry, guess who's leaving the movie, everybody?
I'm going to guess. Oh, I was wrong.
Mr. Delroy Lindo has said, I've had enough of this shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
How do you lose a legend like that?
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of talked about in this article, like it's because of the 2 strikes and how it's been continually delayed, and he's losing out on like other roles and other people are leaving, so it's not the same project he signed on for. So ultimately he's like, I can't keep sitting around waiting, and you just lost another director and you're rewriting it for the 7th time. We talked about this last time we talked about Blade News.
Yeah.
At some point, Mahershala is going to be like, I'm out, and the whole damn thing is going to get canceled. I called it because they were going down a timeline of the whole production for this fucking movie. And I think that was a Variety article. And they broke down everything. And it's like, and now, not even a week later, Delroy Lindo's checking the fuck out. And of his caliber, if he's leaving, other people are going to be not too far behind, and Mahershala is going to say, I'm out.
Yep.
And then they're going to cancel the damn thing because they cannot fucking figure this shit out.
Yeah. No. And what makes me sad is someone of his caliber must have been playing somebody awesome like Whistler.
That's what I would have thought. I mean, this was initially set in the 1920s, if you believe the rumors.
I mean, okay.
It totally ignores the other movies then, but if you're going to do that, take it completely out of the current day so people don't have that juxtaposition of, hey, I remember these from like the 90s and it was set in the 90s. Well, it's set in the 20s. And that's okay if you want to do it that way and make that your canon, but
it's set in the 20s and now hyper racist.
Racist Saturday.
No, that was a terrible fucking time. I'm sorry. I say that embarrassingly, but anyway.
No, you don't.
That's anyway. No, like it's like I asked last week. Is Mr. Ali going to be able to like get work? Not saying and not asking in the sense like is he still going to be able to be hireable? Can he still get work while waiting for this fucking film to get up off its ass?
Well, he's going off to do Jurassic World, so
Yeah.
And that movie is like picking up steam like real quick. They got a director, they got a writer. They're going to be shooting that thing like very soon. If they can't figure this fucking movie out, the soonest they start shooting is next year.
I think that's going to be the case in general, if not 2026.
Yeah.
So,
and what I didn't know about this Blade reboot is like they talk about Kevin Feige actually worked on the original one, and I'm like, he did?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go look at the fucking credits on that because I just don't believe that.
Yes, this was before. This was on the other side of A.V. Arad.
Currently, Blade is slated for release on November 7th of 2025.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, God bless it. And that's too bad. And in a way, you know what? Hold on to your Blade movie, the original Blade trilogy. Hold it a little tighter inside because it's really good.
And the TV show and the anime, they were all very good. I have my problems with Blade Trinity, but I will take that over this bullshit.
Same.
And I don't like David Goyer. What does that tell you?
You're normal? Rational?
Standards?
Yeah. Sorry.
He's just one of those guys that needs a filter, but at least we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. But that's the Blade news. Skeeter, you got any final thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
I had to agree with you. Once I saw this article, I was like, no way. That means that's just a stumble ladder. Everybody's going to start tumbling on out of the project and and then they're going to rewrite it, and Blade will be a tuna fish that's part vampire, that's a air breather, and kill another vampire fish.
No, they're just going to make him trans and want to date a werewolf.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as somebody from the Acolyte.
Yeah.
And then he's going to stop the vampire U-boats as a fish.
Yes. Exactly.
But he has a hard time because he's fallen in love with the captain,
Yeah.
It's a very hard time if you catch Skeeter's drift.
Who wants to have him for dinner just for the halibut?
He could really sink his teeth into that one.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever see this movie come out.
Yeah, about this statement here, if there's no mask and the afro and the fucking polyester shirt that he had, I'm fucking
really
out.
Oh my god!
The original.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never read those. I mean, I know of them, but oh my god,
Blade and Power Man were like fashion statements, dude.
Disco fever.
Blade and Luke Cage both were like polyester supreme.
I don't even think we'll see it in 2051, man. No.
It's still not going to happen by then either.
Maybe they'll go Blade, the gay Blade, like they did with Zorro. So,
you know what I got $1 on that I bet we will see first?
Ooh, place a bet.
Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.
Or The Search for More Money. Hey, yo, I got a few bucks here. Well, no, sorry, John Candy's passed away. What are we doing?
Oh, a lot of people passed away.
This is Josh Gad again. And
fuck.
No, I really gotta say, History of the World Part 2 was pretty funny from what I saw. And
he's all right.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I don't. But I'm not going to be hyper oh my God, we're finally getting it. They're all coming back. No, I think the animated series was as close to that as what we were going to get.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't think anyone's coming back for this. You might get Bill Pullman and Tracy. as like little brief blip cameos, maybe Mel as a blip cameo. But you got to remember, Mel's not going to put gold paint on himself ever again because he's allergic to that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it might be a very retired President Scroob. I don't know, but golly, what they're going to do is they're going to go back to the Spaceball universe, and that at least could be fun.
Hello, my lady. Hello, my good time gal.
Yeah, like if they can keep it in the same vein as how Mel writes and how he was able to make those movies, God bless it. Let's give it a shot. And God bless Mel for giving his blessing to Josh to do this.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck it up.
Oh, if there's a way, he'll find it. But, you know, if they don't name it The Search for More Money or The Quest for More Money, I'm going to be like, that's automatically going to be a no-go for me because they set it up in the first one specifically. Talking about sequels. So if they don't do it that way, you're already going to lose like half the audience who would catch that reference. And if you're trying to hit the nostalgia sweet spot and this is an actual sequel, which is what they're saying it is, then that's going to be an immediate problem for people. It's going to be a problem for me. I mean, it's not a make or break, but it's enough for me to be like, I'm not going to the theater for that. Easy.
I don't think this one's going to go to the theater. I think this is going to be a straight to Hulu kind of thing again.
So who's doing this one? Is this MGM?
I thought it was
Amazon?
Prime. Am I wrong?
If it is, then
it is, I believe.
Amazon MGM.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be very questionable about how that
got a 50-50
turns
shot.
out. There's gonna be a whole lot of sucking going on for that one.
I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I'm willing to finish watching the rest of History of the World Part 2.
Never seen it.
I watched the first few minutes of it, and again, it was pretty damn funny. But it's really hard to outdo the original source material.
Yeah. They touch it, but they don't grasp it fully. But lots change over those years between them. So, yeah, you're not going to get that exact humor that they had back then.
Sure.
Because it's not acceptable today. But, yeah, I kind of worry about that with Spaceballs also because it's like, yeah, this was really funny, but, you know, they can't hit on a lot of those subjects, you know. Plus, if you really want to sell me on Spaceball 2s, bring back Rick Moranis. Then I'll
if you can't bring Rick in.
Yeah.
I will say
he's retired. You're going to have to open up the checkbook for him.
I mean, they couldn't.
And damn well they should.
Ghostbusters couldn't do it, so.
And they tried.
They
legitimately tried.
Yeah. So, I mean, they'd really have to push to get him for Spaceballs, too, which he might. He liked that role, so as Dark Helmet, but
that was also working with John and for Mel. So there was a lot going in that picture. And there's always love behind a Mel Brooks picture. We talked about that last week with Robin Hood. Like, everyone loves working for that man. Everyone that has ever worked for him counts it as a blessing. Like,
I bet if Mel is the one that's giving him the call, that might be enough to get him interested.
I think that could pull
anybody else. I don't think so. It was a miracle they got him back for the Honey I Shrunk the Kids. So
they did.
It was also kid friendly. And Disney Plus, so it was very family relevant. Anything on the little more saucier scale, I think he's just holding back on that. I don't think he wants to get all the way back into Hollywood. He wants to be able to take care of his family, which I total respect for that.
Yeah.
So, but hey, pay the man what he wants.
Yeah.
He's fucking earned it. So if he says X amount, give him X amount. Don't even negotiate. Just give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Now, we also have people who have the ability to come back, who are still alive and still working, that can return for this sequel.
Pullman would come back.
Pullman could come back. like I said, Tracy could come back. Jim J. Bullock, perfect villain opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's he even been up to? I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah.
He's on the con circuit actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I meant as far as like acting roles or anything like that.
I'm not sure, but I did see him online just recently, and he looked really good.
Cool. Hey,
Good.
get enough of them back. You can get me interested, but it's going to have to be good because it's already been 30 plus years, and this was something we wanted way back then, never got. Now you're doing it now because you need an IP to like try and make money again. So
yes,
we will see.
Yeah, I remember showing my kids this when they were little, and they got to the end. They're like, "Okay, where's the next one?" I'm like,
"There is no."
They never made it. What do you mean? They said it. There's going to be part 2. I'm like,
they lied.
Never happened. Now I could call them up and say, "Hey, guess what? Now we can watch Spaceballs too."
Hey, in all fairness, a lot of movies in the 80s were doing that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I remember
did a lot
Dr.
of that.
Detroit, Buckaroo Banzai. A lot of these movies were saying they will return and this is the name of the next movie. And none of it ever fucking happened.
Thanks, Thunderball. Dickhead.
Now, it's just sad we won't be able to see John Candy, Dom DeLuise, even though he kind of died in the first one. As
They might
Pizza
get
the
Peter or one of the other kids in.
One of his, Peter would really pull it off, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause
Peter
he's
could
got
do it.
that. He's got that ability, and Phil Hartman, dink, 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 dink. So,
was that Phil Hartman?
Yes.
Yep.
That was Phil Hartman. Dink.
You didn't know that?
Dink, 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 dink.
Oh
dink,
no.
So yeah, and then Joan Rivers. That's the only other one I could think of that's no longer with us.
There's plenty of celebrity voices who can imitate that.
Mm-hmm.
Van
I am not one of them. I can't hit that shrill pitch.
No, I can't do it either. I wish I could make a lot of money voice acting.
Yeah, you could.
No shit. So, but that'll be interesting when it happens. We'll have to see, and then maybe we'll do a review for it. Maybe.
Watch party. There we go.
Hey,
there
watch
we
party.
go.
Now you're speaking language everybody can get on board with. That's how we do this thing.
All right. Well, so speaking of shows to do later in the year, we talked about shows we had spots opening up. We had a spot for a podcast that's getting closed off. Like, we can't do this podcast anymore, unfortunately.
Because the show got renewed.
Yep. So we're very sorry to say Resident Alien got renewed for a 4th season. We can't cover it as a canceled TV show anymore. It will not be returning to Peacock. That's the downside. It is going to the USA Network.
It's moving from Sci-Fi Channel to USA, not Peacock.
Oh, so it's still going to be on Peacock. It's just not on Sci-Fi anymore.
Correct. On first run airing, it's going to be now on USA Channel.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm kind of curious about that because they really don't put science fiction shows really on USA Channel unless they're just trying to give it a bump for Sci-Fi Channel. Like, hey, we'll air an episode just to pimp it out, and then for usual in like a month, it's going to be on Sci-Fi Channel. They've done that in years before, but like to straight up move it all the way, like the last science fiction show I remember on USA Channel was probably the 4400. Before that, I would say Forever Night, Swamp Thing. They used to have a pretty good deal of programming, but then after 4400, they just kind of stopped doing it.
I cut the cable a long time ago, so I'm not sure what their programming's been like.
We cut the cable like several years ago. So I mostly just stick to online viewing and watching it by one way or another. Even if I gotta sail the 7 seas.
7 seas.
Bum bum bada bum bum bada bum 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 bada bum bada da 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 da.
I
more guidelines than rules.
I still think you guys should do this as a canceled show because USA is probably going to
cancel it.
It's going to be shit and cancel it after that first season that they play it on. And It'll
Yeah.
probably be just cover the first 3 and it'll be fine. I'll be happy to talk about that one too with you because I loved that show. It was
I've seen the
so
first
brilliant.
season.
Yeah, I watched them all. It's just brilliant. I loved it. Made me crack up all the time. And
Hey, it's keeping Alan in acting.
Alan is
He was
just brilliant
amazing.
and amazing in that show. And every time I see him, I'm thinking of all the other movies and shows he's done, and it's like, no, here he's really honed in on his insane comedy. It is just beautiful. I love his acting on that. It's just amazing.
He was in an ABC show, Suburbia,
Yeah,
or something like shit. Which I didn't think I would enjoy seeing him in a role like that, but he did very well in that show.
Yeah.
I mean, Firefly. I could go down the list. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. I'm super happy to see him continuing work. So
Mm-hmm.
excited for him, but technically it was canceled, so we can keep it on the list, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to be fair.
I think you'll love it, Kevin. To be honest,
I think so too. But if you think this is his, I mean, I've seen the pilot and I really enjoyed it, and I will go back to it. I want to watch the whole thing. But if you
Kevin
think
just wants to cover Chucky,
I do. I also promised Rob that I'd finish watching the rest of like the cult movies too, the Cult of Chucky movies.
oh yeah.
Before watching that TV series.
Good luck finishing that one.
Yeah, right. But this is not his best acting. Like his best acting, or to show like how broad of an actor or an acting range that he has.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I know Jeff says otherwise, but watch Harley Quinn. His range as Clayface is amazing. Like he plays so I can't even say it. He plays so many different bad characters so well. He's an actor that's trying to act like all these different other actors, and he sucks. It sucks so bad. But yes, I'm sure this is probably his best and finest. But Clayface is hysterical, and I'll fight anyone, including Jeff, who says
it's on my list to watch when I get to it. So,
all right. Well, speaking of trying to act, let's talk about the Acolyte. We are up on the 4th episode, and I got caught up this last week, so I can actually talk about that this time.
Yay!
So I watched it twice this week. I watched it a second time today.
And you're still alive. I'm impressed, Kevin. You are a sadist.
Holding up.
Well, you know what? I wanted to make sure that what I was going to say was correct. I didn't want to sound stupid, and I didn't want to be just jumping on a bandwagon just to jump on it. But I wanted to give it a fair shake if I could.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
There's nothing to shake.
No, you shake like this. Shake it like this. No.
Shake it like that. Shake it like this.
I don't know. Like I know you guys didn't care for the Space Witches part. I didn't care for the Space Witches part in last episode, and a lot of people got to the point where the witches aspect has been in Star Wars since the Ewok movie, and I'm like, shut up, don't ever say the Ewok movie in my presence again. Like you just invalidated every fucking opinion you could ever have with me right there. So, but it didn't bother me so much, and it's not bothering me that much. That's not what bothers me about this show.
Tell Kevin.
What bothers me about this show is that it costs so much, yet it looks so cheap.
Yeah.
Like they're not showing me anything amazing. They're showing me things that look like the Star Wars holiday special. Everything looks really nice. They're out in the jungle in the dirt, but everything's super nice and ironed. Everything looks uniform, like it just came in from the assembly line from the prop department. Dirty that shit up a bit and kind of dress people up differently. They don't all wear the same fucking clothes. They never have.
Well, they're modeling off of the Old Republic stories that they've been trying to Force out for the last few years.
Cool. But,
Cool. That's not what I expected you to say.
but it doesn't look cool on TV.
Does not translate.
Yeah. So I mean that the wokeness, whatever you guys want to call it, I could honestly give two shits about that. That's not impeding my enjoyment factor.
No.
It's the lack of actual story substance and the lack of them actually like trying to make it look good or believable for $180 million or whatever the fuck it was.
Over $180 million to make this. And the space CGI scenes, I've seen better CGI scenes in Farscape from 2002 that look way better than this shit.
Yeah.
Mando didn't have the budget and his ship looked way more realistic.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, like where this money went, I still will go back to what you say, an insurance fraud scheme of some sort. Somebody's pockets are getting lined, and because I'm not seeing it in the finished product. They didn't hire decent actors. Yes, they did not hire decent actors. There's like, you know, they brought in Trinity from the Matrix, and she fucking phoned it in. They brought in the lead from Squid Games, Soul, and he's playing Soul, and he's okay. But this is his first English-speaking role, and he's fine, but he stands head and shoulders above everybody else in every scene he's in. Because he actually emotes with his face. Everybody else is just kind of looking like a bunch of fucking morons. I mean, and there's so much walking. There's so much padding in all of these scenes. Like, I do not need... We don't need this in the story. You're trying to flesh out like 25 minutes for an episode. How about you actually make story reasons for it? And then I also have a problem with like the fucking editing. We get so many transition wipes. It's like, what the fuck is going on in the editing bay? Like, was somebody high or on acid being like, yeah, we got to do more. We got to do more. Something like Beavis out of Beavis and Butthead. Like, let's go.
More text. More text. Come on, add more text. Say where they're at again. I know we just showed it 2 minutes ago, but say again. It's like,
and I feel the writing is so goddamn lazy. And it's accentuated by everything that I just talked about. It hammers it home because they set up this Wookiee as some badass who's hidden and hard to find, and he's going to be a nightmare when you get to meet him. He might kill you. And they find him in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You do not set something up like that. And there was even this fucking post on Twitter from one of the writers saying, oh yeah, we did have a fight scene planned, but it wasn't in our episode budget. Fucking morons.
Unfortunately, not everything gets to be included for budget and story reasons.
That's my boy, Kevin. Fucking receipt on that bitch. Jesus Christ.
So, I don't know if that got taken out of context or not. It may have.
No.
It may not have. But
no.
It's like when people said after the first episode they did Carrie dirty by killing Trinity off in the first 5 minutes.
She was probably like, hey, just as long as the check clears, I'm good.
No.
Yeah, but she shows up like later on throughout the series here and there. So I'm hoping like they show a picture of Kilnaka with the lightsaber or fighting some.
I hope it's not I hope she's not Smiler Ren.
That's
what the nickname is.
No.
Smilo Ren?
Yeah, like Kylo Ren.
Oh, because of the mask with the
mask, yep.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's Mother Anasea. You called that last week.
I think so, but it could be Cubert, as I call him.
Maybe, but the Smilo had much better posture.
Well, and had an affinity towards which one is it? Osha.
Oh, that's
where she flung her to the side.
Yeah. And took a moment to marvel at her.
Yep. So. Well, and now Darth Lords can fly.
Yeah.
Because she floated to the ground without a sound. So great job on the Foley effects, everybody. Just saying.
They could have been vines lowering her down. We don't know.
Oh, so she's Poison Ivy now. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well,
yeah.
Well, and the fucking Jedi are just standing there behind her while they see this presence come down and start to approach her. And they're just standing there like you're fucking Jedi. Protect her. She's there to kind of be bait. She's not supposed to be there to actually do anything for you otherwise.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, go protect her. Quit standing around like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Force grab her and yank her back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they just like, get away. What do you mean, get away? Just force grab, pull her back, go into battle. Done.
Qui-Gon would not have allowed that bullshit to happen.
No.
Well, Qui-Gon got killed by one lightsaber stab through the chest. Well, in these last few fucking shows, a lightsaber stab through the chest and people are living.
Yeah.
But it took out a Wookiee. So, yep. Oh, yeah. You didn't see the Ahsoka show.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Twice in the Ahsoka show. Crystal clear.
Yep.
Stab right through the chest, still alive.
Was it the right side?
Kevin, we don't talk about politics. No. It could have been the right or it could have been the left side, but it was right through the middle.
Well, then. I got nothing on that one.
Yep.
Cauterized. It was cauterized.
That is not how that shit works, and you know it.
Yeah. Then anybody would be instant cauterized, be fine.
I don't know. I can't.
It's cauterized on the outer ends, but not in the center.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying this is the worst Star Wars that they've ever seen. And again, I'm just kind of like, did you all miss the last trilogy? Like, that was really, really bad.
And this is even worse.
Worse. Way worse.
I don't think so. Opinion. Like,
shill. We got a shill on our podcast.
I'd rather watch Ewok movies. I'm getting to that point.
I'd rather watch the Christmas special.
That too.
I told Kevin privately, like, the Christmas special is better than this, and it's actually more highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes than the
That's awesome.
My drugs are not that good. Why am I enjoying this more than you guys? I don't understand.
It must be.
This shit is really tripping you out, bro.
I had no alcohol today at all.
Then maybe that's why.
I was say, will alcohol help this?
I don't know. I got to see a lightsaber.
It wouldn't help me, I don't think.
Twice, and I realized Daphne Keene's in it too. So I'm kind of like, well, okay. It's not the worst I've seen so far. Like, really, I think the worst I've seen was probably like my first time watching Phantom Menace at the time. And I say that with hope because I look back on Phantom Menace like, well, okay. Maybe I'll look back on this at the same way and be like, it's not that bad. But then again, maybe I'll never watch it again. That could be
opinions and comments of Kevin Smith on Deadwire Live are not representative of Suns and Shadows podcast 0 Point Reviews. They are his opinions entirely of his own free will and volition. And yes, he is a shill. So thank you, everybody. Disclaimer.
Watch more Disney Plus.
Fuck off. Oh God. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, there is something to the story. There is a good story here, but it's just the writing is just so bad. Yeah. The work on this show is just bad. Like, I've seen better efforts on other Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Just by example, this just feels like it's a bunch of amateurs running this show. And that's what I'm having a problem with. Like, nobody put in the real work or the real effort to refine the scripts to be like, you can do this, but you can't do that. hey, we need to tighten this up. We shouldn't have everybody walking into a ship for 10 seconds, then walking out of a ship for 10 seconds.
Mhm.
Let's cut that down. We don't need that. That'll save us on the budget. So we can maybe have our Wookiee scene. I did it all for the Wookiee, everybody.
Why would you have a Wookiee outside of just having it on a Star Wars checklist? Wookiee, got it. Why?
Because
have
it's a
Wookiee
checklist.
if
Yeah.
not show it to fight and kick ass? Like,
Yeah, they fucked up with that.
Yeah.
Well,
we
and
have
it's
a
funny.
Wookiee. Put
He
pants
looks
on
like
him.
he just got a little Zorro Z on his chest and he's dead.
Mhm.
Hey, I don't know where you keep your balls, but
Mine are still attached. Yours are in
Yeah.
your wife's purse.
no, you know what though? Honestly, they probably disemboweled a motherfucker, really.
Mm,
That's not what
Or-
they showed.
no.
Okay, I'm reaching. It cut out his heart. I don't know. I didn't even know that
I
it
would
was
have
a
preferred
dude
that.
until this last episode.
You know, maybe a little Mortal Kombat fatality in
Yeah.
this shit might actually get people back into it.
Get people back into it.
Finish
I don't know.
him.
Whenever
I want
it
to see
shows
the
you
heart
something
still
amazing, it's
beating in
always fun
Smilo
to
Ren's
ceremony.
hand.
And then I
I
want to hear
want
that.
it. I
one
want
lady
it
start
Temple of
laughing in
Doom
the
style,
background.
everybody.
Yeah. Kalima.
Shutide. Kalima. Yep, Kevin's reaching. But that aside, I am watching another show, and it's just as bad. I mean, the writing is a little bit better, but it's still a bad show. Yep, everybody, I am watching The Boys.
The boy is.
And The Great Homelander, as some would say. This show is not good either. Like, fucking stupid ass piece of shit show. Cannot get off its right wing bashing to the extreme.
Yeah.
And what they're doing with all the characters is completely unfounded and ridiculous. Eric Kripke, he says everybody can go fuck themselves if they don't like what he's doing with this show. And all I can say to him is, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So.
This show started off good. Then it was like teetering. And this season,
They just went
I don't know what
hard
the hell's happening.
on the politics. It's just too
Yeah,
much.
Way too much.
It's a little too close to, like I said on my video the other day.
Mhm.
This is supposed to be an escapist show.
Yeah.
People are not tuning into this to get lectured to about politics.
Mhm.
When this show started out, it was to make fun of everybody and everything and deconstruct the hero.
Yep.
We are so far removed from that, even with the show in its own universe. Forget about Garth Ennis and his comics. We are so far from that storyline, from what I understand, that it's basically the show is its own storyline and mythos. Things are just too much changed. Characters are swapped around, this, that, the other.
Mhm.
This ain't the same. But in the context of this show on its own mythology, it's completely jumped the fucking shark. Like,
Yeah.
people would have argued this happened in the second season. I say it happened this season.
Mhm.
Because the last two seasons, there was still some good in there. I still like Carl and Anthony Starr. I like the Homelander, and I like the Billy Butcher storyline, especially with the son. I like that. Everything else is just makes me want to blow my brains out.
Yeah. It's like they got lazy writers out of nowhere, or political writers. Like, oh, we'll make this so everybody will be enjoying it. And it's like, no, you just lost everybody. It just
Pretty much.
big downhill. I was like all excited. I'm like, okay, now we get to find out what's going on with Butcher. And they're kind of like, oh yeah, but here, let's talk about this. Let's remember, you got to do this. You got to do that.
Yeah, we're meandering through this fucking story. I'm like, yo, what are we doing? We're on episode 4. We're halfway through this season now. And you're just now indicating there might be something more going on with Butcher than we thought about. Like, no fucking shit.
Yeah. I still got to finish 4. So I only got like 10 minutes into it. But yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you'd been watching this.
I haven't seen that's tomorrow's checklist, if not Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to love it. I mean, Homelander, yeah, he's funny for how crackheaded he is. But
He's fucking nuts.
he's just focusing on his son a lot too, like trying to be. I want to be like me, but now we start to realize, oh shit, is he going to be better than me now? And he's getting jealous of that, and it's like, I could see that story playing good, but they kind of just touch it and then they leave it alone. And it's like, no, you should focus on that a little bit more. It could be a better show if, him getting jealous of his own son and will he attack his own son to take that,
Right.
keep in his higher position.
Right. Yeah, there's some elements that they could focus more on and stay away from other elements. And like the whole thing with like fucking Frenchie was just like, this came way the fuck out of nowhere. I know he's bi. They indicated that in the first season. That doesn't matter. All of a sudden he's hard in a relationship. And I'm not going to spoil it for you because you haven't watched the episode yet. But
well, they show him in 3 with that one guy, but
well, yeah, they indicate like his backstory with Colin, and it's like, oh dear God, what are you doing? You're forcing this storyline for what reason? Colin's not gonna fucking help nobody. He's gonna be what, the damsel in distress at the end? Wonderful.
No.
Or he's gonna be the guy that gets fucking killed at the end, or they both get killed. Somebody's gonna die at the end of this season. Big prediction from me. One of our boys is going to be dead. You might think it's going to be Billy. I doubt it's Billy.
No.
I think he's hanging around for the 5th season and the final season. But as far as like, if somebody's going to die, it's probably going to be Billy. It ain't going to be Starlight. It ain't going to be Mother's Milk. And it's sure as shit not going to be Huey because they like to keep him in the fucking background of this goddamn show. And he was the fucking star. Him and Billy were the mark of this story.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
For
teaming up because they hate superheroes.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Plus,
anyway,
how many other supernatural cast is going to be on this show, too?
Well, they're missing a couple.
I know there's a few, and rumor they're supposed to be pulling on a few of them yet. So,
oh, the other brother now,
and Castiel. Yep.
I could see them getting the actor who played Castiel on here. The other brother though, he's kind of busy with. Is he still doing Walker Texas Ranger?
I don't know if they got canceled or not. He might be.
Jared, right? Jared.
Yeah,
Padalecki.
Jared Padalecki.
Yeah. I would like to see him on this show, but at this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, you got a thing, or are you stretching?
That show got canceled.
Oh, it did. Okay, that's what I thought.
Sorry, that's all I had.
Yep, that's okay. That's probably a good time to pivot away from shitting on the board.
Or we 0 point on that. So,
no, that was in the news 2 weeks ago. They canceled Walker, unfortunately. So Padalecki is looking for work.
Okay, so he'll be around next
probably
season.
on there. Yeah.
Just watch. They'll also bring back Jensen as Homelander's dad, and then he's going to be like the uncle, like the brother of Jensen Ackles. So they got a quick little nod to Supernatural.
God, is he that old? He's not that old. He's not that old.
Well, they made Jensen. I forgot what his character name is, but he was basically Homelander's dad.
He's not that old.
And they look like the same fucking age, but the Soldier Boy. That's right.
Soldier. Yeah, I was getting to it too. It's late.
Yeah, I know. All right, Kevin. Let's get on to some other storylines or whatever we got left in the tank.
All right. So let's see here. Netflix has been opening up its own theaters throughout the country here and there, showing their own movies, their own experiences. They've visited 25 different cities throughout the country and had 50 different pop-up experiences. Well, now they've purchased 2 malls that they're calling Netflix houses. One in Pennsylvania and one in Dallas. that will have theaters in it, stores, restaurants, and they're all going to be based on Netflix shows.
Mm-hmm.
And this I think is kind of amazing. This is phase 2, I guess they're calling it, of their experience rollout. So basically they're saying you can go see a movie or binge watch however much of you want of Stranger Things, go eat an ice cream from Scoops Ahoy down the walkway. Like everything's going to be based on their different shows. You could go play and interact in different Squid Game activities. So this is a really neat thing, but this is also a neat thing because it's also them continuously giving their finger to the Motion Picture Academy. And I really like that.
Yeah.
They won't let them fucking win any awards. Fine, we'll go have our own awards. We'll have our own, opening up malls again and do shit on our own with blackjack and our own hookers.
Hookers and blow. Hookers and blow.
Yeah, because it's not like Hollywood has a shortage of its own hookers and whatnot. But
well, I think we got somebody subscribed then.
Solomon's down.
Netflix, you can start sponsoring us now. That'd be cool.
So, and then we'll quick it up a little bit. I apologize because I know we're running late.
That's okay.
I want to point the finger at Warner Brothers, but now it's apparently Universal has announced that Exorcist 6 will now be released on March 13th of 2026, directed by Mike Flanagan.
3/13/26. How can we tie in the Mark of the Devil here?
Easy.
13. 3/13.
Maybe they should have gone for June 6th, 2026.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That probably would have worked better. You could have blotted out the other numbers, but again, after Exorcist 5, I have no desire to see 6.
God, that was horrible.
I just don't want to. I liked the TV show well enough. That was okay.
Yeah, I agree. As far as like any sort of Exorcist anything, I mean, Mike Flanagan is pretty decent. I didn't really like a Midnight Mass, and I didn't see like the Midnight Club, but I liked some of the house on the haunting shows that he was doing. Bly Manor and the other one. I like those.
They're good.
He's a decent writer and he's a pretty good director, so it could actually be decent. Just keep it out of fucking David Gordon Green's hands, please. Like, keep him the fuck away from any IP.
I think that's probably going to be a safe bet from now on.
Well, yeah, Flanagan's, it sounds like this is going to be a trilogy. Why does it have to be a fucking trilogy? I don't know.
They're going to be able to break that contract if they want to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, they got to try and recoup the money they spent on getting those rights. Paid enough for it all.
Yeah, certainly. Like, how much did Warner Brothers like get for that? And that's heartbreaking that they sold it to Universal.
Yeah.
Like, but whatever.
Well, Universal's got their theme park coming up. Maybe they want to incorporate a little demon spawn in their Monsterland.
Demon spawn.
Pazuzu, the room where, you know, the kid was possessed.
Throw up over here, blood spatter over there. We won't say where it's from.
Yeah. But you'll smell it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, are we ready for more children and blood spatters?
Let's do it.
All right. Speaking of children, blood spatter, and Eli Roth, Borderlands is in the news again this week. The notoriously rated M video game is getting a PG-13 movie review.
And I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're calling this Eli Roth's teen-friendly film. It is getting a PG-13 rating, and golly, I hope the jokes are good for this because that's what it's going to be riding on, if not the violence.
I forgot he was actually directing that fucking movie.
I really like
and I
Eli
like
Roth
Thanksgiving, you know.
Yeah, like he's a talented guy, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Hmm.
Why make it? Because the studio paid him to. I get that. But golly, studio, why make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna hire him to do a fucking movie like that, you keep it an R-rated. That's his wheel. Well,
Yeah.
you know full well it's like Robert Rodriguez. Like, hell, you brought him in to direct this, that, and the other. Okay, he'll do your Spy Kids, but he's only doing it so you'll give him the money so he can go make a real fucking movie, right? After he's done with that.
Pretty much.
Hopefully that's actually what's going on, is he's gonna then get enough money to then he can go do his Thanksgiving sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That's a dope movie, everybody.
Is that on our list for later this year?
It could be.
That's right.
We do need a Thanksgiving themed movie.
Yeah. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
No.
We already covered that.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah, you did. Yep. After I said it, I remembered.
That's okay.
My wife is already mad that I watched that and she didn't get to last year. And I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
Do you really need to envy me?
You do Dutch? Isn't that Thanksgiving?
We did Dutch too.
We did Dutch.
Right. Gosh.
I think you need to get re-familiar with our back catalog, Steve.
I've been listening since the beginning. I have to go through it all over again.
Just gotta bust your balls about it.
I'm trying to remember, like, did you guys or not? I'm like, I remember hearing somebody talk about it. It must have been you. So
that's all good.
All right. Now, are you guys ready for the big news, the big cult news?
Let's fucking do it.
Okay, so I didn't tell you guys about this yet. This came out in the news. We know that The Crow got moved back to August. People saw it. It's unwatchable. And we've all had the same question of, it looks like shit. We've all seen it looking like shit. We haven't seen or heard what it's going to sound like, because the big character that we're missing from this movie from the 90s is the sound. The sound of The Crow was such an iconic piece of that movie that we've been afraid that they're going to miss out on that with this film. But the news came out that the soundtrack is coming out and will coincide with the same time, and it's going to be called F1 Trillion.
Oh, fuck off. You did not share this headline with us before we started this stream. Oh, my God.
I'm out.
I'm dead. I'll see you soon, Elizabeth. I'm feeling the big one right now. Oh, my heart.
Yeah. I saw that and went, it's coming out the same week as The Crow. You can't write jokes like this.
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I cannot believe that. Oh, shit. Oh, Kevin. He wins the stream.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I had.
Oh my God. All right, Skeeter. Let everybody know where everybody can find you. I know it's in your name tag, but let everybody know what's going on. And
right there, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. There's a ton of them on. I don't even remember them all. But yeah, just catch me out. Just DJing, doing music bingo, trivia, all kinds of fun stuff. And someday I'll get this room finished.
Yeah.
So I'll have a nice backdrop instead of the Duke looking out the window, keeping an eye on the neighbors.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Every time I see your background, I see like the cardboard. I'm like, I kind of remember that, but I don't want to ask and be like, yeah, I kind of forgot what the fuck that was.
Trying to find some more. I want to put them around. I got one neighbor that's spooked all the time. He's always watching to see if we're watching him. Yeah, I just want to have him there and just. I did have one. There was a mask of a face going like this out the window.
Yeah,
but my wife hated it, so she took it out. I'm like,
oh man,
yeah, because it scared the shit out of her. Because she'd come walking in the house and I was always right there. Somehow it disappeared. I don't know where it went.
That's the leg lamp from Christmas Story.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
darn,
much.
it just
Yep, just fell. It broke, so I threw it out. No, it didn't. It was rubber.
All right, Kevin, what you up to, and where can people find you?
About 5'7", and you can find me at SunsAndShadows.com. That's where we release all of our podcasts. You can find us right here at this YouTube channel for all of our videos that come out every Tuesday. We've got 0 Point Reviews, which is going to be our film reviews. The following day after that, or every other Wednesday after that, is going to be NTV, which is, Jeff, you got to say it. I don't say it as well as you do.
It is Nostalgia TV, the graveyard shift of forgotten television shows.
That's what I wanted to hear. We do reviews of canceled TV shows. We reformatted that. And so anyone that listens to the podcast, if you've ever wanted to see what we look like while we're working on that podcast, you can now watch that as a web series on our YouTube channel here.
Yep. Just be careful. You might turn to stone when you look in Kevin's eyes.
This one particularly.
Arr! All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on Deadwire Live. We thank you very much for checking us out, following us along, and participating in the chat. We totally enjoy that. So if you like this, please hit that like button down below. Smash that shit. Slap it like it's Will Smith. Let's go. And also, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell notification. You will stay in the loop for all of our video content. We are putting out some more videos and a bunch of different content. So we'd like to have you along with us and check us out. We're always looking to improve. And Justin Solomon, if you guys ever want to show up on here, just let us know. We'll get you a link. And also, if anybody's got any comments about anything we've covered on this podcast and this live stream, put them down below. We want to hear them. We do read all of our comments. And if you have any thoughts, anything like that, whatever, put it down below. And on that note, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one. And I'm going to hit that.